Working culture. Working culture is a really in-depth and seemingly hot topic that we think has been a hot topic for a long time, but very often does not get the focus or the emphasis that it deserves. Now, with lots of things we do here at On Point Publishing, especially on the non-fiction side, we cross over and get very involved in working cultures, aiming to form positive working cultures, but certainly addressing how to avoid negative working cultures. And we don't just do things here from a publishing house just to put the material into books for sale or to put something out there to help people. All of our information comes from many years worth of experience from junior in the first instances to mid layers and then senior layers of management and leadership, from small to very large organizations. So yes, we then cultivate all of that experience, sometimes as individuals, often as a team, and that then forms a strong backbone for the material that we then publish. But it also forms a good foundation for things such as this. And that's putting a little bit of information out there to help people, to hopefully meet some of you a little bit closer, even if it's just on social media channels that we're very interactive on, at least across 4 platforms at the moment, with others that we're expanding the material out onto. And it all comes from real experiences, from real case studies, and we'll always headline something that we either know or feel works or can work for people. But we're also open-minded to debate around certain topics, especially as things are changing a lot out there. But working culture is such an enormous topic and one of such value, even if you just look at results of surveys that have been conducted. I don't need to quote any, it's easy to find them if you look, but typically speaking, the number one reason why so many people change jobs isn't because they dislike the job or because they don't like the commute or whatever it is. It's because they don't like the working culture that's become in the office, or they have issues with their reporting mechanisms, such as their managers, their leaders, whatever it may be. Well, that all comes down to working culture. And whether you're in the mix of that, being responsible for creating that in the first place, whether you're in the link of a team, integrating yourself into that team and therefore being a part of that culture, or possibly the most important of all, if you're in a senior management or leadership position and wholly responsible for the culture kind of beneath you, even though I would struggle to use that phrase in the way that I and we look at things here at On Point Publishing. But if you look at an organization chart, you will be in a certain position with other people then beneath you. So what then happens beneath you, ultimately, is your responsibility. It's your call. But do you know for sure what the working culture is beneath you? And if there are issues, could you, or people that you've employed to help manage a team beneath you, especially if the whole team is very large, responsible for negative aspects of that? Therefore, this is a very wide topic. We love to talk about it, all in the means of trying to help. So what we're now doing is we're putting a few episodes together around this subject, different characteristics, different features, different variations. And of course, we'll always look for feedback, for input, for insights. Hopefully in time we'll be able to get some guests on to talk to them about things such as this. But we've seen a lot, not just here as a publishing brand, but across the team that works within the brand, the number of organizations that have been worked with, both in depth or at a high level, even if we just review something as a consultancy project, which sometimes we do, the numbers are vast. And it's not just small organizations that lots of people listening won't have heard of in all the regions and countries in the world that we aim to support or where our material is available. But it's also some high-level brands, typically being the ones that pretty much everybody would have heard of. And of course, we're not going to go into too much detail. Things have to be confidential. But the concepts and the context of what we know works, we feel is valuable. Therefore, this is the first session, an opening session if you like, a welcome session, of which there will then be others. And of course, if you'd like to get involved, follow the podcast, subscribe, leave some comments, follow us on social media. We're here to help. Those are our fundamental values, and we really do enjoy doing that in between everything else that we do. So hopefully you'll find things of interest. Hopefully we'll get some good conversations going and some good debates. And hopefully we'll get to meet enough of you to maybe even get some guests on board at some point in the not too distant future. Hopefully that helps for now. We'll look forward to meeting more of you soon, and thank you for tuning in.